Am I the asshole for refusing to buy my stepdaughter a car like my daughter's? I have a 16-year-old daughter, and about 7 years ago, her dad and I divorced because he found out he was gay. Him being the only breadwinner and me being a housewife, he preferred to let us live in our house. He continued paying all our expenses and giving me money to maintain my lifestyle. 2 years later, I met my current husband, and a year later, we married. He moved in with me and my daughter, and him and my ex are great friends. Also, as a wedding gift, he even gave me his half of the house. Now I own it in full. My husband has a daughter with his ex, so she lives with us half the time. The issue is that my ex pays for our daughter to go to an expensive school, buys her expensive gifts, and for her birthday bought her a $60,000 car.
Am I the asshole for not wanting to be the babysitter at my friend's wedding? So I, 22 female, love babies. I've always wanted kids, but I want to wait until I'm married to have them. I don't mind watching kids at all, but I dread going to an event and everyone just dumping their kids on me just because they know I like kids. Last month, my friend and a couple of others had lunch together to plan more for wedding. I was at work and I was unable to attend. They decided that since I was okay with watching the bride's child, I should be okay with watching everyone else's kids too. They decided to set up a daycare-like area at the venue where I would watch the kids. I didn't even know they planned this until yesterday. I told my friend, the bride, that I would only watch her kid. That's all I agreed to. She argued that since I work in pediatrics and I actually like kids, I should have no problem handling 7 to 10 kids. I told her no, I only agreed to watch her child because it was her wedding. I tried to reason and say that if the other parents were willing to pay me for watching their kids, then I would be fine with it. But she said she didn't want to make them pay for something that should be free. Am I the asshole? I kind of feel like one now because she said there are 2 families that aren't coming because they were under the impression there would be free child.
Am I the asshole for refusing to apologize to my mother-in-law after she saw me wearing underwear? This happened yesterday morning at 9 in the morning. I, female 33, was in the kitchen eating breakfast wearing my regular underwear. Suddenly, I heard gasping sounds coming towards me. I turned and saw my mother and sister-in-law yelling about what I was wearing. I was in utter shock and just froze in my seat. My husband was asleep at the time and he must have heard his mom and sister scream because he ran downstairs and asked what's going on. His mom started ranting loudly about what an inappropriate scene she and her daughter saw. I'm still sitting in shock when my husband started yelling at me to go put something on quickly. I went upstairs and his—
Am I wrong for being an ungrateful, spoiled brat for the Christmas gift my husband got me? I, 35 female, want to begin by saying this, that in every holiday, me and my husband, male 33, both work decent jobs, set separate budgets for gifts. He uses his own money to buy gifts and I do the same. We've been married for almost a year, together for 3. This is our first Christmas as a married couple. He made a list of everyone he was trying to buy a gift for. I stumbled upon the list by accident and out of curiosity decided to take a look. I found that his friends and coworkers were on top of his list with gifts that cost over $5,000 total. For example, he got a $600 wristwatch for his coworkers, a $250 bracelet for his sister-in-law, and a $900 workout gear for his friend. Damn! That's a nice-ass dude. What the hell? I wonder what he got you. There was more, but that's all I could remember. What made me upset was that when I got to my name, I saw that he bought me a $20 something kitchen spoon set, stainless steel. I was too shocked to ignore this and I had a confrontation. My bad. I thought he's spending all that kind of money on his friends.
Am I the asshole for asking my wife to cover up her tattoos while meeting my grandma? My wife has tattoos covering her arms and chest. My parents grew up in Japan where tattoos are largely associated with gangs, so at first they were very against my wife's. However, after a lot of conversation, my parents were able to finally accept my wife's tattoos. My grandma, on the other hand, actually grew up surrounded by gangs. Her brother was in a gang and died while doing gang-related activities, so she has a lot of bad memories associated with tattoos and gangs. My wife and I got married during the pandemic, so my grandma hasn't met my wife and doesn't know about her tattoos. She really wants to meet my wife, though. We got news recently that my grandma is really sick and probably won't live much longer, so my family all made plans to visit her ASAP, since this could be the last time we see her. My parents and I suggested that my wife cover up her tattoos for this visit so that my grandma doesn't freak out when she does see her. Am I the asshole for telling my wife that her 10-year-old daughter was more mature than her? Me, my wife, and daughter went to an all-you-can-eat restaurant today. My wife has a habit of ordering too much food at restaurants and not eating it fully. Oftentimes, the restaurants don't allow doggy bags, so the food gets wasted, so I decided to take her to an all-you-can-eat so she'll be able to only take as much as she wants. She piled the food up on her plate and I told her to add less portions and finish all the food and come back later if she wanted more. I mean, our daughter was doing just that. She said she totally finished her food because she was really hungry and I kept quiet. My wife wasted half her plate and the manager made us pay extra. After we put our daughter to bed, I told my wife that she acted very immature at the restaurant and our 10-year-old daughter had the sense to gouge.
Am I the asshole for getting mad about my mom marrying my fiance's dad?
What?
I, 24 female, and my fiance, 24 male, have been together since our sophomore year of college, so around 5 years now. For context, my mom had an affair with a coworker when I was 16, leading to my parents' divorce. She has been single ever since. Sadly, my fiance's mom passed 2 years ago due to cancer, and his dad has been single since. My fiance proposed last year, but our wedding was delayed due to COVID. 3 months ago, in January 2021, we decided it was time to have our families meet for the first time to discuss our upcoming wedding. This went well. This morning, out of the blue, my mom called me and announced that she had eloped. I was shocked as she had not been dating anyone to my knowledge. Upon questioning, it turns out that she and my fiance's dad had been dating in secret since that meeting in January and had married in secret yesterday, making my fiance my stepbrother.
I have a 16-year-old babysitter who watches my 4 and 8-year-old. She watches my kids from 9 to 7 from Monday through Saturday, so I asked if she liked anything stocked up in the pantry or the fridge. She mentioned that she really likes seltzer water and I bought them for the first month, but honestly, I forgot after a while and never kept any in the fridge. A few days ago, I bought hard seltzers for me and my husband and didn't think anything of it. While I'm at work, she messaged me to say if I can come home early because she's not feeling well. I asked her to try and hold out until the end of the day. Not too long after, she called me crying, saying that something was wrong and she had to go home. She was drunk clearly. She had drank the hard seltzers that were in the fridge. I told her to leave and she walked home. She called me the next day crying that she didn't know that the hard seltzers had alcohol in them. Both her parents were alcoholics and she was diagnosed with PTSD regarding alcohol. She never planned on drinking in general. I told her not to come back as she put my children in danger. She says she really didn't know and she cares deeply about my children and would never ever drink or put them in danger. She really can't afford to lose this job. I told her to find a real job and that it wasn't my fault she got drunk. My husband says I'm being very rude and that she did try to reach out when she wasn't feeling well. And my kids are upset to see her go. Am I the asshole for making my brother leave after he brought his kids to my child-free wedding? My wife and I got married days ago. We decided the wedding will be child-free. We thought this was the best option considering several factors from budget to keeping the order, etc. Everyone got an invitation, but my biggest concern was how my brother Ramsey, 36, was going to react. Ramsey married young and has 4 kids that he takes everywhere he and his wife goes. They're always there at every family event. The kids are grade A hyperactive to say the least. I gave Ramsey the invitation in person and he read it out loud in a sarcastic tone and then said, "Child-free, huh?" I nodded and he got someone mad saying, "Are you serious?" But my children have never been excluded from any big or small event, let alone their own uncle's wedding. I said sorry, but it's already been decided and everyone had to follow the rules, not just him. He started off for a minute and then to my surprise he said, "I totally get it, man. No children means no children. No worries." I was glad he didn't start an argument over it and seemed to accept the rule. The day of the wedding came and Ramsey and his wife didn't show up until shortly before the ceremony began. My best man noticed that Ramsey had arrived and had all his kids with him. I was